see what he and Ekal has cooked up today.
Yeah, absolutely. If they front Ekal a little bit more, we get to see exactly how well he gets to play. The last week round, we only saw him brought in, I think, if I'm not mistaken, just one match. So, and they seem to have been kind of squads here. We get to see Bigatron by Vitality and Magna get into it early on.
Starting off at Rimnam Village, a very popular spot for the Malaysians. But when you have BTR around the corner, you are going to be expecting some early fights. And Magna is making good on that. We're taking down 2 already. Virus finds the 3rd one. There's Deeks removed from the equation. And BTR off to a very, very poor start.
Yeah, you got to sit on that vending machine there. And it looks like that's exactly what Magna is looking to do as they quickly chase the final player. PE Esports will find themselves Vamos as well. So Malaysia in the thick of the action very early on in this lobby. C2 with the mini Uzi. Good glue wall by Jun, but he will be pressured by the player right behind. Runs out a bullet wrong time, but it's a 2v1 and Narrow catches up. PE Esports still on the hunt, looking for their 3rd piece, and it's going to be Zuwes. 2 players up against him, and he has nowhere to go. But it finds the 3rd point for PE Sports at the expense of Vamos.
PE, who has a great reputation for that first 8 minutes on Bermuda, they ended up paying the price, and they might pay it in a more hefty manner if Twisted Minds finds the Axel. And it seems like that's going to be the case. An early exit for Vamos.
Yeah, there's just no way you get away from this one. Diamond's already flanking from the left. Axel, Riptide Rhythm he has to deal with as well. Has the vehicle though. And Diamond with the G36 is wrong car, but it doesn't matter because export play from the player.
Always reliable when you need a clutch factor. On Fire did catch out Aim God. With Evo's now in the conversation, I think between Coach Yu and Ekal, there is going to be that minor friendly contest to see who is worthy of a slot, right?
Yeah.
I think obviously the fans will say Coach Yu because he has been there the entire way. But it's nice because I did have this discussion on FFMIC, I believe yesterday with Arca, about whether a team should stick with a main 4 or have a substitute.
Yeah.
I think we get to see that play out for EVOS.
Absolutely. And speaking of EVOS, up against Falcons here, this is going to be a tough one for Kuchil. Gets tagged up. Porpor makes one mistake, but recovers with the glue wall. And more alive. VSK straight to the chest.
And BTR early on did suffer some heavy damage against Magna. Let's see if the second Malaysian team can do the same.
They have a great position here, Kenshin. It's all about him and his VSK. If he can find the flank, then Bigatron by Vitality might just be smashed right here, right now. Ryu finds the Bison headshot. Dix does find the trade, though. Ryu taken out of the equation. Raja too far away for the trade, and they choose to not step in and challenge the player's trade head on, but instead flanking around from the right-hand side. Mikacha runs straight into the vending machine. Quick fingers will bring Ryu back in. That's the insurance policy, but this is just Esports Putrajaya playing for survival and not looking for elimination points.
Raja takes out Kyung, but no confirmation there. So BTR, they get themselves 2 points, 3 points in fact.
Squad, but I guess you got to do what you got to do to survive. Axel taken out of the air with the Car 98. Magna in the region to find more points off of Vamos. And Zues is the next one to get caught out here. The Malaysian squad just spraying on each other.
Unfortunate circumstances for Vamos, but great about how to stay there for the next week as the feed now lights up. It's Esports Putrajaya suffering losses to BTR. Falcons now coming in to intercept.
Yeah, I mean, 2 monsters, both collapsing on Esports Putrajaya, both sharing points between themselves, and the Malaysian squad just has got one final survivor. Porpor finds Sibeng, and yeah, Porpor is definitely not Predator. He's just Porpor. The guy just hasn't played all that too much, but has been around the professional circuit for quite a little while, and on fire, flanking around with the M590, finds one beautiful shot and follows it up with another. The rest of the players on the side of Bigatron just scramble at the sight of on fire. Let's see. As MBR tries to see if they can nick up a couple of points off of the Bigatron by Vitality squad, which forces them to split apart. And that's probably not the best of ideas here. Falcons moving straight towards Koja. He might not be able to survive this one long as Onyx.
Quite the dangerous and risky rotation. But we got to remind you guys that the Buri Ram Champion bundle is coming soon. So stay tuned and don't miss it. If you've seen the waiting screen, they did talk about the design. So it's gonna be pretty fun to get your hands on them.
Better wait, Booyah in style, Jun. Beautiful shot to the foot and then straight to the chest. Virus with a VSK. Takes him out, and Magna, that's just the first shot here. Zuez is going to get caught out as well. The Valiant dash just to confuse them. But since they had the numbers and the 180 easy flick by Jans, Magna finds another player on the side of Vamos. And that's what we talked about earlier on. The recovery just has not been kind to the Malaysian squad.
And we saw the double return rhythm from outside as well. Those glue walls are going to get blasted down. The Bas in danger. And Exposito will bail him out. Vayback's removed from the fight. Twisted Minds have a free entry in. Next on the list is Aim God. And Evo's Divine just have to concede.
Below them, still on standby for action to start on the other side. MBR in front of Bigatron by Vitality. Wrong spot to jump on into. They didn't scan the area with the binoculars and they might just pay a big price for it. Rafaela down on the ground. Sibang with the M82B penetrating behind those glue walls. Time to call down. And MBR with the perfect save off of the chrono.
And just like that, BTR might have found a lifeline here. So MBR's glue wall will keep them alive for now. Sibang just needs a couple of good ones. They are all at quite the dangerous spot, and Sibang finally connects a knockdown. Make it 2, and Sibang is coming alive, and Koja wants to join the party. Farah bleeds out to the blue, and a complete wipeout for MBR.
The M82B is a monster in the right hands. Those glue walls meant to protect it, absolutely nothing up against the gun. And Bigatron by Vitality, beautiful stuff out there.
So, because BRU are moving first, so Secret WAG could completely dodge the conflict. And Moshi, he's taking heavy fire. High chances from PE.
Yeah, it's PLS1 up on top of the roof with the AWM in hand. 9-7 now, circling around. Getnas about to be trapped in here. M590 up against Get High, and he stood no chance. Moshi smashed at the same time as well. Tikui safe behind those windows. Circle squeezing everyone in little by little. And that's going to leave Kyong high and dry outside the zone. And he's going to perish most probably, as he has got no way to step on into the next zone. Poor knockdown. It's Kyong. But finally the circle does its job.
A clear rotation to safety.
That was a perfect landing there with multiple glue walls set up and nobody could touch them, even though they could see exactly what they were up to. PLS1, fantastic shot onto Boom, and he makes sure he gets the confirmation as well. Magna collapsing into Onyx, but it's Onyx is the one that is taking the majority of the damage from the circle. And now it's Crime that leaves the rest of Magna outside, and it is Esports Putrajaya that deals with Crime, and Magna hopping on in, trying to third party that situation, but the distraction just wasn't enough, and Magna might be in trouble. Evos, on the other hand, eliminated already.
This feels like the Hunger Games, with Secret WAG being the judge, jury, and executioner on the high ground. They get to do whatever they want, and PE Sports, they've had enough of it. They're going to bolt for the high ground as well. So both the enemy's teams have the vantage point to get as much points as possible.
Oh man, this is just on fire right now, but finally gets knocked down to the ground. Twisted Minds is out. Falcons potentially going to get taken out of the equation here as well. Still within the circle. WAG finally shuts down Magna and the Malaysians plays. 4 more teams left in here, 2 from Vietnam. Secret WAG and PE Sports looking strong to walk away with that booyah. But you cannot allow Falcons to find that recovery because you know they're going to be the biggest threat.
The infighting between the Vietnamese might just be the window that Falcons need to get this game in their favor. Esports Putrajaya with the backstab onto Secret WAG after they've had possession of the high ground for so long. Now opens the game up for Falcons to swoop in for the potential booyah.
And Falcons now slowly flanking around from the left. Pina with the grenade as well, looking for Mikacha. Kenshin has been found, but Pina blocks it away with a good glue wall. Mikacha's defenses gets broken down. Nobody's taking him down just yet. On fire does manage to find that one connection. Drew stepping into the time turner, but he will not be able to survive the oncoming On Fire, who gets a double for himself. Make that a triple. On Fire, truly on fire right now on the CQCs. And Falcons cleaning up house. Not a record-breaking game, but definitely a shattering one, as Falcons grabs booyah #1 as suspected by Husky.
21 total eliminations, and 10 of them double digits for On Fire. We literally talk about him being the longest stand. Picks might have swapped, if we base it off of our conversation leading up to that. But collectively, those were the 2 teams that we are focusing on, right? So I wouldn't put it past BTR, as again, their track record on Solara has been quite the stellar one amongst a lot of our teams out there. But if BRU gets it,
Falcons farming the lobby. And it looks like they are out to farm again, because if there's any map that you can play those farms well on, it is Solara and Esports Putrajaya. Starting off the journey here a tad bit rough up against PE. Strategies on the side of MBR looking solid at this point of time. But Fancy now, VSS in hand, on fire trying to flank around his left. With the P90 in hand, Fancy starts off with the shots, and now On Fire exposes himself to Bara as well. This is a big potential here for On Fire to get smashed down, and he does get knocked down to the ground. Fancy, beautiful stuff from him, and the rest of Falcons can't seem to recover this situation. Pina now too far out in front, and it looks like he's going to get taken down as well, unless Limit and Porpor can do something.
and that was a lost cause from the beginning. We even saw On Fire slow down right beside the bus where I believe Fancy Z was hiding behind. And Refila might have a chance as well. Oh, he doesn't see him. But the glue wall plays right at the right time. Popor, one of the newer additions to the team, now has his first test. A 1v1 Mini Uzi in Rafaela's hands, but he's going to take a stealth bite and get out of there.
Man, if Rafaela had a sniper on him at that point of time, Porpo would have been down. Falcons could have stood a chance of getting eliminated from this lobby too early. And speaking of Rafaela, he just, again, does not have the right gun. And up against Limit, it was not going to be easy at all. But Limit now shut down from afar. The shot's perfect from Bara. Porpor waiting for Limit to expire and instantly buys him back.
Fantasy doing another great job. First the backstab onto On Fire, and then the trade onto Limit. But Falcons, they do you gotta hold your horses sometimes. Onyx against BTR at building. But Onyx didn't really commit the full squad. Secret WAG might have a chance to capitalize off of this. And Pum and Bang are off in the wayside. Demons in a 1v2, but it's gonna be a 1v5 if Secret WAG hops in the building. Reinforcements arrive, and WAG are going in for the rush.
Yeah, PLS wants just on fire at that point of time. And now T Kui buys it in hand. Kyung stood no chance. Bigatron by Vitality. Thank God they swapped out my prediction.
And thank goodness they got mine wrong. Oh, actually, no, they got mine correct, right? I just didn't account for BTR. But you get the point. Now our record is wiped clean. It's a clean slate. BRU off to a great start. BTR, not so much. Can be only so many teams with the B initials in that prediction.
Production with the save there. Damage King, the one and only Moshi. Obviously, the guy is on fire right now, literally as well. On screen, and as I speak of him, the RTS 50, a rare gun used by Moshi. He doesn't care what he uses at this point of time. He just wants more points. They crashed out way too early. That was not the plan for Buri Ram today, obviously. And this game is one where they will try their best to make up for the loss in the previous matchup. Today gets taken down by Getna. Winchester shuts him down on that rotation. And Buri Ram on their 6th point now.
Honestly, you give Moshi the throwing knives from Lone Wolf, he's gonna headshot you from...
It's all about Virus here. If he can handle Diamond, I think this is a battle that Magna can win. If Diamond wins out this battle, this is a GG for them. Virus needs it. Jump already laid down to the ground. But it's X-Posse that helps out from afar. Diamond does not go down. The best finds Jans as well. Yep, this play is going to break Magna apart for sure. Alif trying his best to get away. Diamond with the Car 98 will not be able to smash down those glue walls. And the chase is going to be a tad bit slow as PE Sports shows up out of nowhere.
In the lightning zone as well. No, Magna escapes by the skin of the teeth, and Twisted Minds will have to try and do the same. There is a vending machine nearby, so hopefully Diamond has at least gotten a revive. I think he has. But even if he goes down, the rest of Twisted Minds will live on. PE Sports on the hunt for the 7th point. One on your left. I can't believe it. Diamond actually got out.
Yeah, he got away with that one. And Diamond should be able to bring his buddies right back in. Car 98 in the hands of the Hall Man. Bedeb spotted him. Yep, that's the light and joy of the squad. LBT pushing on 4th. Should be able to find Diamond here in the situation. But the revives have been brought through already. Diamond, his sacrifice is well worth it. Jump instantly returns the favor, brings Diamond back into the match, and Twisted Minds pretending like nothing ever happened.
Quite a round for Falcons, as they only have a single elimination so far. 8 minutes in. The Indonesians about to clash. It's the veterans against the newcomers. Evos against MBR. A full rush into the building. The utilities are good. Joker and Fanteezy, they have been fantastic for the earlier parts of the game, and the conversion is immediate. Evos didn't really stand a chance there.
Oh, that's it. Evos is done here. Faiz is caught out and boom with the shots, but it is Kenshin that sneaks that away. Esports Putrajaya punishing Onyx as well as they snuck the point away from under their noses. Now Demons is going to be caught in a tight little spot here with 4 players on the side of Esports Putrajaya looking for another point which they desperately need.
One of the duos worth highlighting on EP side is Mikacha and Raja, right? They both previously played together, I think back in the MCP era with Todak. So they have a long-standing history even during some of the darkest eras of the region, and now still sticking together as one of the classic dynamic duos, which we don't really see much of anymore of our Malaysian teams. And leading Kenshin and Ryu and giving them room to showcase what they're made of. Esports Putrajaya making good on the potential.
And the game truly has changed in many ways since the time of the powerful combo that you just spoke of. But Malaysia and its players have barely changed, barely caught up, kept up with the rest of the changes in the rest of these regions. May just get left in the dust if they don't start making any big changes. Demons now shows up, Valiant Dash, breaks down his defense. Is Demons still alive? Come on, they took way too long to get that one extra point. Yes, Demons was good on the quick work, on the footwork, but Esports Putrajaya showing signs of weakness for sure.
Yeah, thankfully none of them took any damage, because even if Demons even gets a knockdown, then it would be quite the chink in the armor. But now a formidable opponent arrives, and it's Falcons looking to get aggressive and start racking up some points.
Yeah, there's a vending machine in the compound. That's going to be the only saving grace here, and you can immediately see Esports Putrajaya quickly recomposing themselves, aligning their positioning to make sure that if they need an instant revive, that can be pulled off. As Falcons do not give them a chance, Esports Putrajaya cannot run away from this compound. They will be forced to take this battle. FGL shots for On Fire through the containers and quickly repositioning himself as well. Question is, will he be spotted by Kenshin? AWM up on top, but Limit keeping an eye on him.
And Ryu's position is very important. In fact, he pushes out the compound. They want to really force the Falcons out of this area, and Ryu good on that, but On Fire will find a trade onto Mikacha. Actually gets tagged from afar, but still not down just yet. With Pina coming to reinforce, Falcons will trade 1 for 2. Popo, what was that shot? Raja gets removed, and Falcons coming out on top.
I don't want to say I told you so, Husky, but I told you so, man. Limit barely needs to do much when Porpor is on fire, and Porpor has not been snuffed out just yet by anybody. On fire now, can he stop it? No, he can't. Great glue wall plays here by Kenshin, and he brings in a triple revive for Esports Putrajaya. That was the best play from Esports Putrajaya so far.
A lifeline for EP, but 4 big points for Falcons. Twisted Minds removed off screen by PE Sports. Down to 8 teams remaining. And if you guys haven't heard of this just yet, we do have something special for you.
Will be tossed on in as well. The damage is done, and here comes the thrill of battle as well, locking in the players on the side of MBR. Onyx wants a fight, and they might just bring it to them once they can take these defenses on. They're trying to toss in the utilities to get the break.
Some of the teams in front of them, and Vamos will find out.
I just want to highlight again, that was a beautiful rotation from Onyx, just pelting down the team with all of those ice grenades and everything in their utility box, just so that they'll be distracted enough so they can take a better, safer spot for themselves on that rotation. And Onyx survives just because of that. And they will also have the grace of the movement for this next circle. Riptide Rhythm from afar, breaking down the defenses right in front of Buri Ram. Vamos taken out of the equation. And the players on the side of MBR falling one after the other to the players of Falcons. WAG shutting down Buri Ram. But the pickups are there. Tikui puts down Moshi one after the other. They're dropped, picked right back up, but I feel like WAG's gotten the job done already. There's just no more recovery as Captain Jonah has to bail.
Look, someone gotta check Popor, man. He just got a twofer again. Finally, one of their members is knocked down, and that's gonna be Limit. But so far, Limit hasn't really been needed or required to show his 100% because Popor is going above and beyond for the team. And Falcons were in the worst possible spot. They were sandwiched by Vamos earlier on. but they made it out of that situation and now find themselves in the best possible spot as long as they can avoid secret WAG.
Can Falcons go for a back-to-back booyah here? Shot from up top. WAG wants to personally make sure that does not happen. Limit taken out of the equation already, but the more dangerous Pawpaw is still alive and kicking. Can they get the pickup here? Yes, they can. 3-man strong for the side of Falcons, and all of those beefed-up blue walls are going to keep them safe for the time being. They're right behind Onyx here. Onyx understands that. It's all about the timing. WAG will catch Onyx as Onyx tries to get away from Falcons. Falcons force them out of the defense, and it's WAG that takes advantage.
Yeah, Falcons trying to split up and look for some high ground access, but they don't have the room for it. Before Poom went down, he actually knocked Nan down, so that will buy some time for Falcons, but it is still a 4v3 in favor of Secret WAG.
And it's all because Secret WAG took Limit out first. The preemptive strike nerfed the chances of Falcons from walking away with that booyah on this match for sure.
Taking their vehicle out. What is this play? Oh, they're redirecting. They're going to make it to the boulder behind and stay safe as well, but they let Popor there. It's Secret WAG. They might not know about this because the blue zone is preventing any entry, but he got spotted out by T-Quay. Great stuff checking the corner, and now the superstar is out.
Now 2 more players here on the side of Falcons. The 4 on the side of Secret WAG, pushing on fourth. One arm with the God Nade, but on fire with the headshot. T-Quay taken down already, but the instant pickup and the electrotherapy gets Falcons down on the ground. WAG just needs one more shot to connect, and it's T-Quay that pulls the double. With 17 eliminations strong, it's Secret WAG, the reigning defending Southeast Asian champions, with the booyah.
Falcons made them work for it. They had to work extra hard. But again, it's the earlier preemptive strike that you see members.
I never knew cats made good parachutes. It's a fun thing to learn. Alif finding on fire Falcons.
What?
Rough start here, but Por again. Por again will be able to get the second player and gets to pick up this guy, MVP of a different nature altogether. These guys are just so good, but they're not even playing competitive seriously just yet. I wonder what will happen when they all get enticed to join us here. Not just on the sea level, but on the global finals level.
I also have to take into consideration that you look at his track record, right? So
yeah,
I think that's sort of the gauge for him. And so I would consider him one of the new bloods, but either way, he's making a name for himself.
Fair gun. Well, if everybody can have the gun, makes it a very fair gun, I think. Falcons finding Ezreal, and Jun from up top takes Porpor out of the equation, but he almost got that shot on point as well onto on fire, and he'll quickly make the exit from the compound as well to keep the team alive, hoping to find a vending machine for himself.
The piece will leave the scene of the Indonesian derby. Full revive for Vamos. Prime making the cross to join his teammate and intercepted by Koja, who was waiting right out in the open, and there's no saving him. Now Poom is 100% gonna get sandwiched. He only has a charge buster in hand, so yeah, no chance winning this one.
Bigatron by Vitality on the other hand, 6 eliminations already in hand. And it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to get their 7th one just yet as they quickly drive past an opportunity. Esports Putrajaya. Jonah, Car 98 in hand, looking for, oh, beautiful jump shot. And quickly repositions in as well.
The most decorated.
The most, yes.
A successful captain that we've had. One of the longest standing pro players in the scene ever since he joined. That was like what, the Evo's Phoenix, Phoenix Force, and then now BRU. Probably has the highest stocks if we have a stock market for these players. Falcons finding the 6th here, trying to flush Team Vamos out of Central, and Vamos, yeah, they understand that this is not their game anymore. They're gonna get out of there.
Beautiful shot there with the Woodpecker straight to the head. Takes Porpor out of the equation. The biggest threat in our eyes at this point of time. The best performing player on the side of Falcons shut down. And Pina will return the favor with a God Nade from down below.
Actually, there's the 10th Falcons, but it was a freebie onto Porpor.
Oi,
Limit.
one more.
You get the second one. Blue wall gets put up, but there's a vehicle coming in and on fire here to finish the job.
Yeah, beautiful. Just dashes into the time turner, and Pina is there with the Mag 7. They should be able to... No, they can't pick their buddy up just yet. Porpor will expire. Bedep in a tough spot. PE Esports up against Bigatron by Vitality, and I don't think Bedep wants to take the fight.
And saying the same for Esports Putrajaya as they are about to encounter BRU. Wasana right onto the high ground. And just great instincts to find Raja out in the open. Time turner drop and another glue wall, but a flank from Getna confirms that. And it's 7 points for BRU.
Raja, though, in that situation, I feel like mechanically he did the right things. Just unfortunate, he had to go up against 2 players. If there was a 1v1, there's a potential there that Raja could have handled Wasana on his own. And that's a great big respect to give.
So keep your eyes peeled for this because the cosmetics look great. Hoja not looking that great as LBT pumps it full of lead. Now it's Kyong in a 1v1, but LBT coming online and Kyong decides to completely surrender that fight. Doesn't want to take that 50-50, but LBT, he's not going to give out on this. 2 good shots will do it. That's the first one missed, second connect, but Kyong has enough just to get out. Bobs and weaves around the corner. That's expert driving.
Yeah, that's just punching the air, not in success, but just out of pure furiousness, as he could not get the job done. But they're driving right back at him. Sorry, you wanted a fight? They ask LBT, and they bring the fight straight to his tent. Beautiful fight. That's unfair, bro.
Primary school technique sometimes still works, you know, the good old technique of bringing more friends. You can't win the 1v1, make it a 2v1. And in this case, it's a 4v2 as the members of Secret WAG double what Twisted Minds has in the front line that will allow them to get the initial knockdowns. And Twisted Minds quickly realizes that this is not their fight anymore. Diamond cannot get out of there, and Exposy forced to run away on foot.
Oh my god.
The elimination. Twisted Minds wiped out in 12th.
Yeah, but a very good play off of Secret WAG. That was lethal, that was precise. They executed it with perfection. And now Falcons driving straight into their compound. The fight is not over for Secret WAG just yet. They just managed to loot up their opponent's Twisted Minds. But can they shut down Falcons? Limit X7, Car98, up close and personal takes Wangam out of the equation. You also saw Popo up on top of the hill. So that's going to be a big, big danger for WAG as they try to exit this compound.
Pina taking out one of the spear of Secret WAG. Pina does it again. Pina able to find the exchange there, but Falcons are not backing down with Popor to fill in the void. Pina will perish though, thanks to the Raphael of PLS1. So Falcons not entirely out in the clear.
See, he's getting the job done. Vitality will lose Virus here. Just to a knockdown first. No eliminations as the Sibang stolen away. EVOS the equation. Because when they're cool, calm, collected, not a lot of pressure, I think they're just way too dangerous for the other teams to deal with. Maybe a little bit of distraction can help. WAG, unfortunately, does not get to enter the circle. 8 kept to their doom. LBT, beautiful venue, that finds Axel! And the rest of the Wamos players are just scrambling, running away from him. LBT still alive. How can that happen? Narrow with the follow-up on the Mac 10. Vamos took no shots and they all perish in the hands of PE.
Clearly unprepared for what PE has in store. I mean, LBT completely just body slammed them with the Valiant Dash. And I said, no resistance at all. Let's gotta start thinning out some of the numbers because in the best case scenario, I think Falcons have a chance to actually break the world record set by Lion, sitting at 45 points. But with the amount of bodies on the map and Falcons racking out so much elims, last we checked, they were at 18. They just need 33. Actually, no, 34 and a Booyah, and they've broken the record.
There's a Pikachu body slam, and there is a Snorlax body slam. LBT just whipped out the Snorlax body slam, but problem is, now the circle is going to do a number on them. Coach Heal, EVOS, keeping an eye on the players on the side of PE Sports. There's a big chance they all perish here. PE great on that play, but not a lot of numbers now on their side. MBR, on the other hand, stuck in a tight little corner, looking to see if or not they can engage with the Onyx players. They break down their own defenses, and now they're inside of the zone. Esports Putrajaya taken out as well. The chaos has ensued. And look at Falcons avoiding a majority of that chaos, just taking on a small fish in Mark now.
The Popor is actually down, and they can't get to him just yet, so the rest of Falcons will have to somehow wiggle their way out of this. But by getting rid of Getbu, Limit finds an opening in to get Popo back up on his feet. So really makes you wonder what the rotation idea was. The same happened to Onyx Olympus. But Falcons now get to gatekeep the rotation, the escape route of Magna. Jan's actually tried to fight this. Are you insane? Because Pina got that one. Virus was able to get 2 in return on Fire and Pina on the ground, but Alif will have to do everything on his own. Finds Pawpaw, but ends up getting wiped out anyways.
There's a big play there. You thought it was a small fish, and the small fish just happened to be a big shark. Actually, they're quite, the
piranhas.
opposite. They are... No, in fact, a different species altogether. They're cats. They're big cats. But it's okay. We'll talk about that later. Falcons out, finally. No supercharged game for them, but there's nothing that they cannot recover from later on. Buri Ram still alive and kicking, looking for the point. Riptide Rhythm sent out, but it breaks down the defenses a tad bit too slow here, allowing still MBR to find the recovery behind their time turner. It was that A124 that locked them down first. Question is, where did the thrill of battle come from? Because we didn't see the MBR players pop that earlier on. And now the counter play for them is just to try to break down the defenses of Buri Ram, but they're not really aggressive on fourth. MBR knows they want the next circle and they have to focus on the rotations first.
Yeah, one of the few rounds, the rare circumstances where no team have control of the circle at all because they were basically all centered around in the middle. But with the top 2 teams already out from this lobby, it is high time for teams like PE, for BRU to catch up in points. And for MBR, they will have to face the music of BRU.
Let's see those glue wall melters. Again, time turner. Maybe too premature this time around. Buri Ram. This is their reshell up against MBR, and the follow-up from Moshi after the Riptide Rhythm was perfect on that AWM. Wasana in the thick of the action, running behind enemy lines, fighting Rafaela as well, alongside Getna. But they need this instant pickup right here, right now. Wasana down on the ground. They do have the electrotherapy available on their side, and Wasana will quickly recover after that pickup. Getna gets to him quick enough, and Buri Ram continue their rotation towards this next zone.
Part of me thought that they would actually go from the low ground, but no, they're going to charge right up and take out Onyx as well. As only Poom was left, Evos now have to make that rotation, but it's a bit late, so they will sustain some damage from the blue. Have to run straight into BTR, PE out in the open, and BRU controls the circle.
Evos still alive and kicking. Come on, Evos. But nah, don't do it. Put it up. They are my prediction. They do have the M79. Use it. Nah, they perished before they could. And now put it up with the numbers advantage. It's a 4v2. LPT, can you pull another Snorlax body slam? Moshi says, don't you even dream. C1 down. Getna finds LPT. And Buri Ram finally with a booyah on this second day of play.
Much needed booyah. Much needed. Prevents any sort of an immediate push. Good coverage from Team Falcons, but they still need to find a way to build Limit out of this.
Yeah, Limit is just staring daggers at Elif and Getbu. He's making sure that his teammates always have lines of sight on him so they can provide some overwatch while he closes in the distance. They're just looking for a little bit of a knock, maybe an opportunity so that Limit X7 can go full sending in. That's his cue. Plenty of damage dealt onto Alif and Getbu, but Getbu actually manages to get behind the sandbags, and that is going to be a little bit of a stalemate for now. Meanwhile, at Grab Labs, you got...
Off the table, right? Especially when you fight in the internal structure where there's very low gravity, the Vamos need to find a way to wriggle out of this spot. MBR arriving at the scene.
Yeah, the team that Vamos were initially fighting have escaped. So now they have a new opponent, and that's going to be Magna Esports. I'm sorry, that's going to be MBR. Good knock by Bara. Plenty of cover provided by Rafila as well from the high ground, but they still need to find a way to convert those knocks into eliminations. And while we are talking about this fight, Esports Putrajaya bite the dust. They become the first team.
There are some Vamos members hiding.
And MBR now looking to isolate Zeus and Israel. Flash faces right on top of them, nades being thrown, being rained upon them, and here comes the dash. Zeus taken out, no retaliation from Vamos Esports as MBR continue to
determine how many MBR members are nearby. The isolated June found out by both Getna and Wasana. That will be BRU's first point. And again, Graph Labs, very volatile area.
Was running away from Grab Labs. There's definitely 2 teams fighting over there, but what they don't know is that there's 3 teams already, and they are the potential 4th party because even PE Sports have entered the fight. Moshi misses the shot up close. Fez wins that battle with the Max 7, and here comes the backup from Vasana. Instant res onto Moshi, and Buri Ram are back at full strength.
Moshi will need some time to patch himself back up. PE Sports and MB are still fighting on that low ground. That will be a tag, I believe. One of the MBR players down is Rafaela. So Getna will go in for the confirm. For now, as stragglers from esports and PE Sports are just out in the wild. Aim God finds an ambush there. LBT gets a knuckle sandwich. esports finds their fourth.
This could be a fair 2v2 fight. Aim God fighting Bigatron. Gets caught off guard, puts up a glue wall just to save his skin in the nick of time. Apex comes through with the backup, but Aim God gets sprayed down by Nero regardless, and Bigatron also wins his duel. Meanwhile, EVOS, the players, they've got backup. EVOS seems to be struggling down to their last player.
So Apex getting taken down, that was him losing a gunfight, but Aim God? What? A bit of a questionable decision making there. EVOS feeding 3 members into the meat grinder. But thankfully, you have Fires to still keep the run alive. A rest Suez by Jun as Axel cashes in on a PE Sports member. And Secret WAG finding Deeks out in the open. Is Nan with his Trogon to give them another point.
All right. Secret WAG getting all their fights without any problem so far. They're even isolating all these battles. No matter who they're up against, they don't seem to be losing any members. So they don't even need to go for any reses. And right now, poor Koja kinda isolated. His teammates are flying in to help him out, but will they arrive in time? Because Koja seems to be holding his ground for now. Plenty of damage dealt onto Nun. But they're all managing to cross that distance, cross that treacherous gap by covering in the glue walls. Koja jumps down, full committing to the battle, but Hoan gets the better of him.
What was... Well, I mean, Secret WAG, a tight-knit circle. And that should free them up in that vicinity. Twisted Minds rotating in. Quite the no-show on game 3, but they should be able to handle Fantasy, who is alone. Jump and the Bass, always sticking together side by side. And Twisted Minds should slowly gain control of Decker Square. MBR, I don't think they want to be around here.
Advantage in every single situation. Right now, though, MBR might just be biting off a bit more than they can chew because Jokers is heading towards that vending machine, but he's going to get capped by Twisted Minds, and the Bass gets him. But luckily, you have Bara standing right next to another vending machine in some other part of the map, so he can instantly buy his teammates back.
Diamond was actually sniped by one of the PE Sports players, but unfortunately, no one can reach him. Small price to play though, but that flies in. Nero's already spotted out. Evo's Divine found out by MBR. The Bass did the 1v1. Gotta switch to a better weapon. The Charge Buster was a bit too slow, and that was the right choice, having jumped by his side again in several...
So will they find him first? Extremely close. There goes Nero, trying to get the first shot, but he loses the advantage, and now he's been discovered. Exposi quickly recalibrating his position, and there you go. Lovely shot by Diamond.
But unfortunately, no clear shot for the Vietnamese. That's for Limit, and Limit somehow sneaks that one in on the T-Quay. We did highlight Por making his job easier, but when Limit missed the step up, he absolutely does. Pina also finds one.
Nice two-piece from Limit X7. That vantage point on the bridge might just get him a third one as he spots Huang. Oh, just about gets in cover. So Huang, his life will be spared for now, but On Fire is landing right on top of his head, hoping to finish off what Limit X7 started. And there comes the spray. Another glue wall put up. Huang desperately trying to save his skin, hoping that he can land the jump shot against On Fire. But he's gonna go in for the wide swing. This 1v1 has gone on for way too long. I'm surprised that Falcons hasn't sent in any one of their other players to back On Fire up. But he seems to be handling himself for now. Huang just running around. How on earth is he still alive? He's holding his...
He's just gotten control of the internal of this compound.
Yeah, Twisted Minds, this duo sticks together, hoping to provide each other cover fire. Even if they try to isolate the fights against Vamos Esports, they're just running around and hoping that it deals a little bit of damage, but doesn't get any knocks done. Now these glue walls and the reinforced glue UAV separating these two. Maybe the person from the high ground can give them a little bit of an advantage, but they try to climb around the other side, hoping to find the angles onto Vamos, and it's Diamond who strikes first. There goes down one more player. June bites the dust, and it seems like Zeus will be the next one to follow. Axel also accounted for on top of that roof. Diamond making sure that he keeps them pinned down on the roof so that he cannot provide any cover to...
A decent day for Magna Esports. Even though they don't really place that high in terms of placement, they have managed to make themselves known from time to time.
Yeah, at least they're avoiding disaster, because their performance so...
Just in case there's a separate team nearby, but Twisted Minds finds themselves in the nest of BRU. It's just a 3 against 4.
Yeah, the numbers disadvantage really not working out for Twisted Minds. Jump goes down to the throwables, and Moshi steps out just to confirm that elimination. Even Getna puts one right in between Exposi. Oh my lord, this is going from bad to worse, because Buri Ram seem to be unshakable, and Twisted Minds just by paper cuts in a million pieces.
Some of the bad habits of Twisted Minds, rearing its ugly head, especially those rotation. If you are fully relying on Diamond from long range, you don't want to fight into, close compound. T-Kui getting LBT, Hong Am onto C-Twan, Secret WAG, just superior in this fight against PE Esports and making it look easy.
The pressure, but Nero still holding on to his life. As soon as I said that, BLS1 gets the better of him. At least
To stick for the low ground to avoid line of sight.
yeah, but as soon as MBR go to the low ground hoping to avoid Falcons, they might just run into Bigatron. It's them being trapped between a rock and a hard place, and they'll...
Teams that are nearby, right? Because we saw Onyx chip in, we saw BRU chip in as well in the efforts to take out MBR. They did call down 2 monster truck earlier on, but with Blue Zone closing in, I think they are still going to be in the clear, but the next one might force Falcons to rotate off to that low ground. Falcons right now will just take advantage of whatever they have to get a couple of stragglers. Onyx now in dead center of the circle. BRU needed to come in for the southern side, and Falcons will eventually be forced to vacate that high ground and get into a more fair fighting position with the other teams. On fire, remove Secret WAG from this lobby, and Onyx Olympus now forced to spring into action. Magna on one side, BRU on the other, trying to really force the cross, and Poom dealing some crazy damage. Jonah getting clipped in his feet. Meanwhile, off screen, it is Onyx and Magna getting peppered by Falcons, who are still vulturing for extra points.
Falcons are indiscriminate at this point. They're no longer Falcons. You're right when you say that they are vultures right now. They're preying on everybody. Whether it's Buri Ram, whether it's Onyx, it doesn't matter who it is in front of them. They will take the shots at anything that moves right now. And they know that there's a bunch of revivals also happening, so they put their eyes to the sky and take down Virus before he can even make landfall.
What was that from Popo? That's got to be a record shot there. AWM in hand as well. Close range, long range, Popo's got you covered. Jack of all trades, master of all as well. Pina onto G'day. Onyx Olympus might just have to let G'day bleed out at this point. With the blue zone closing in, Onyx Olympus are down to just 3 members. And Falcons, what a strong spot to be in. On top of a nest.
Yeah, the only team that's actually safe from Falcons are gonna be Buri Ram because they're directly underneath them. So unless Falcons abandon this high ground, they will not be able to take shots at Buri Ram, but they will definitely be able to make Magna Esports Club's lives miserable. They try to make that crossing, they try to force the fight against Bigatron, but by the time they get to Bigatron, all of them are so low on health, and Bigatron don't even get anything. They just get 1 elimination. Everything else is just lapped up by Falcons.
It almost feels like one of the events from Squid Games, right? Where the doll sees you, the doll shoots you in this manner, and instead of 1 doll, it's 4 dolls holding the Falcons insignia. BTR, despite being under such heavy surveillance, still managing to keep the whole squad up with 11 eliminations, and BRU continuing to be safe, like you said, but they might have to face the tune of Onyx Olympus and BTR, who will start to get desperate as this circle closes in.
Yeah, they're right. But still, the biggest threat continues to be Falcons. And yeah, I mean, I'm not much of a Squid Games fan, but there is no green light over here. You just have to pray that you don't get shot. Put those glue walls up as quickly as you can and hope that you get safe passage. Buri Ram now will have a lot of people coming towards them. Onyx and Bigatron also just enjoying the calm before the storm, taking in their breaths, preparing for the incoming slaughter.
If the circle shift aligns is parallel with the bridge, it will be a godsend for Falcons. Right now, they are going to slowly wriggle their way into the center, but it does seem like they are not going to be lucky throughout the entire way. The Bolt Maker was used, Stormcore out by Popor again with his senior by his side, Limit X7, starting to pepper the teams out in the open again. On fire, does need some rescue. They bring it back up onto the monster truck. Here they come onto the low ground.
Oh, let's go!
Can they stick the landing? Yes, they do, but Limit will be taken down by Jonah. They put up a barrage of blue walls to bring him back up, and BRU actually takes Limit down again, but now they have no access to Falcons. They gotta deal with Onyx.
Yeah, Falcons basically on X Games right now, getting into the monster truck and climbing on top of that roof, always maintaining the high ground advantage. Meanwhile, Buri Ram and Bigatron clashing against each other at the bottom, desperate to not get thirded. Meanwhile, Buri Ram, they still need to get inside that house, or better yet, keep Onyx inside and lock them in over here. The circle has barely any inches remaining. Deeks is just counting on his meds and hoping that the heal battle lets him win this one. Meanwhile, Falcons also might be forced to do the exact same thing. Buri Ram now knocking the door down, hoping to fight Onyx in that little claustrophobic circle, and everybody is just going down. Get now with the double. Wasana comes through with another elimination as well. The circle is non-existent, and it's just the heal battle right now. It's Porpor versus Buri Ram Esports. Wasana and Porpor hoping to find each other before they succumb to the blue zone, and Wasana lives through it all.
Back-to-back booyah for Buri Ram United Esports, but I gotta say, the biggest clutch there towards the very end was the electrotherapy, the advanced therapy. That last boost of heal, that last injection of health was what allowed BRU to outlast Porpor, who was already prepped. It was a one-time magic that I am still looking for a repeat.
Yeah, I mean, those Indonesian teams were really in their prime in 2025, but especially for this fall 2026 season, it seems like not everybody from Indonesia is stepping up, not living up to their potential. Hold on though, because maybe Vietnam has a chance to shine right now. We got B Esports clashing against Vamos. Nero leading the charge, but while they're focusing on Nero, Bidet lands the first knock against Zeus. Nero jumping around, hoping to isolate those fights, but he will not be able to get away. Sichuan comes in to save him, but he also meets his maker. And there you go. B Esports suffering from quite a lot of losses. LBT biting the dust as well. B Esports relegated to just one player, but they've done plenty of damage. Vamos Esports were down 2 players, but they managed to buy them back instantly. Ezreal and Zeus back into the fray.
But doesn't seem like they want to kind of overextend into this, and Badep, he survived like the last time we saw him.
Oh no!
Not that lucky. XL finds him with the Bison from the back. There goes PE.
Lost that opportunity. They're gonna look for some another opportunity. Meanwhile, look at this. You got Makna Esports Club fighting for their lives against MBR, jumping on top of them. Getbu trying to survive. Alif lands that final knock. And just like that, Makna Esports Club have turned the tides.
Clean getaway with a vehicle available as well. ABAX losing the 1v1 against Deeks, and MBR out in 11s.
Yeah, MBR forced that fight against Makna Esports Club, losing 3 of their members, and their last player was just taken down. Let's see if Bigatron can eliminate out there somewhere. Hiding and biding his time. Meanwhile, back in confinement. Teams just keep on coming here. Onyx were already trying to third party over here, but when they realized the timing is off, they tried to fall back. But now they have a new contender. It's Falcons over here. Oh my god, Gray manages to knock Porpor. Instant confirmation as well. And he spots out one more player. Pina trying to force the issue. He's trying to close in the distance, but G'day reunites with his teammates and makes sure that he doesn't get isolated in this fight.
As a vending machine nearby, Falcons might just treat it as an invitation to go for more. Pina around the corner will be spotted out by Poom, but unfortunately he's the first one to get shot through the wall. Poom with the knockdown, and that will be 2 members removed for Falcons. On fire now, found by crime. Poom again with the follow-up. That's a 3-piece for him.
Yeah, Boom pressuring them with the Car 98, while the rest of Onyx, especially Putra and Crime, coming in from the left.
Boatmaker called in at Mammoth here. Very open grounds. So dangerous fights incoming. Secret WAG will be the one charging towards Esports Putrajaya, who have control of the giant skeleton of the Mammoth. That also gives them some long-range opportunities as well, but you have PLS1 in the backline. Secret WAG might find the flank. Mikacha though comes in with the charge buster, completely whiffing the shot. And that is not good. ACAD brought out the hook gun to reposition. Wants to look for an opening, but Secret WAG are just sharper with the execution.
Yeah, Secret WAG are wiping the floor with Esports Putrajaya. They made quick work of this team and instantly eliminate them. That's pretty cool. But now Secret WAG have another target. I don't think they're aware about Makna Esports Club closing in the distance just yet, but with Alif and Getbu climbing this cliff, I think PLS1 is about to get a nasty surprise.
Let's see if they can get out of this. PLS1, the last person to disengage, but the hook gun will allow them to be a bit more mobile. Virus, the first shot, doesn't get the knockdown just yet, but it does force PLS1 to basically plant himself right out in the open. Tikwe also getting the same treatment. Magna have the opportunity to shut Secret WAG down right here and now.
Oh, they called in a monster truck to bail PLS1 out of that situation. He is kind of trapped in the open though. Tikwe needs to provide some good sniper cover to get PLS1 to safety, but hey, PLS1 can handle his own. He's already got the knock on to Getbu. And at this point, WAG have the advantage. They can press the attack. They've dealt with the high ground flankers, and most of Magna Esports Club just need to take down Virus before anyone else can be allowed to escape. There you go, PLS1 gets the knock onto Virus. That's the confirmation they were looking for. And with Magna Esports Club once again getting the high ground, they will force a close range battle against Huang. Nice shot by PLS1 onto Jans once again. And this guy is just running circles around Magna Esports Club. Getbu and Aleph thought that they had the advantage, but they've been peppered with all this utility. They're forced to go around the other side of the tent with Huang using his Max 7 to completely wipe out the Magna Esports Club.
And it's not over yet, because with that fight concluded comes a new challenger. Twisted Minds arrive at the scene. And Secret WAG, battered and bruised, are not in a condition to fight a full 4v4, especially when they are down one member. But Tikwe, unfortunately, will be the target of pursuit for the Bass and Jump as well. They will eventually intercept his pathway and take him out. But Secret WAG are still in the game, but they have to let go of their superstar. BRU now shows up. Mammoth is the hotspot.
Yeah, how many teams are gonna come over here looking for eliminations? This is practically the fifth party. I mean, it would have been the fifth party if the other three teams were alive before them. But now it seems like you got Juena going in for a massive flank from outside the zone. He's hoping to surprise Twisted Minds over here, but the main fighting force of Buri Ram Esports have already closed in the distance. They're using the heal UAV as well to make sure that they don't suffer any more losses. And now finally, Juena reveals his position, gets the knock on to Jump, and that's the cue for the rest of Buri Ram players to go full sending in. Wasana with a lovely shot, instantly wiping out most of Twisted Minds' forces, and they just need to take care of Diamond. He's trapped, no escape, and even Diamond goes down. A diamond in the rough, finally cut into pieces.
BRU sitting at 7, baiting in the blue, but does have that mammoth control. And we did see BRU put out quite the supreme performance against Twisted Minds. It speaks to their capabilities. Aim guard, wow, with the clothesline there, traced himself with Gade. Onyx Olympus getting 1-for-1. A-Bag doesn't stand a chance as Gade with the Mag 10. It's just brilliant today on Kalahari.
Yeah, bro, those sprays are insane. Really quickly dealing with the opponents and doesn't even need any more backup. Now, you got Vamos Esports approaching them in Council Hall, but I do believe that they don't need to force the issue, just like Buri Ram are forcing the issue. And their success have already gotten them the bundle inside the game, so be sure to check it out in the store. Oh, what? Putra. Rather unlucky, gets taken down by the Axel, but luckily Gede is right around the vending machine, so he can instantly buy his teammate back. Now let's see if Vamos can continue pressuring Onyx Esports, because Crime has that top angle, which should be able to stop Zeus and the Axel in their tracks. But the question is, will he finally reveal himself, or will he get taken down by the Axel first? That was so close.
And Jun made the long trip around the Coliseum, the Council Hall, in fact. Finally gets himself in a position to threaten Onyx Olympus, but the bounce off from the glue wall, very well placed by Crime. Now Vamos will face the challenge. Gade getting great support from his teammate. And
wow.
That is exactly the kind of execution we wanted to see. A valiant dash to knock them all down like bowling pins.
And they're already very close to overtaking AG Global, so even if Falcons has a rather slow game, they don't need to worry about points. Oh, speaking of slow, look at Onyx Esports. They've just managed to wipe out their opponents in a rather quick fashion, but now they are the ones getting eliminated quickly. Porpor, nice elimination into Gide. And let's see if Onyx can turn this fight around, because they have taken 2 successful eliminations against Falcons. 2v3 could have been amazing, but Peanut turns the tide. That nade destroys 2 Onyx members instantly, and it's all up to Putra right now. He's running for his life. Hold on though, Peanut completely ignored the turret, and he pays for it with his life, giving Putra some much needed time to get some heals done. But I don't think he can go for the revives right now. He just runs across Porpor, using the grapple, hoping to get the angles. Porpor is running around and making sure that he doesn't die quickly. But this gives Putra enough time to jump back up on the roof and get the res onto Crime. And just like that, the opportunity is stolen away.
Twisted Minds can manage this, because BRU They're going to be holding that for as long as possible, and Twisted Minds decided that they will go on the offense instead, but they will start with walling off the ground floor, and BRU just says, you know what, we're going to go second floor, we take out Exposy. Twisted Minds outmaneuvering themselves.
Yeah, bro, they're getting juked really hard, and Wasana is making sure that every single one of these mistakes is punished appropriately. Falcons get eliminated by Bigatron, but this fight, Buri Ram versus EVOS, has just got another little twist, because Secret WAG also wants a piece of the spy. While EVOS were desperately trying to survive their battle against Twisted Minds and Buri Ram, you got so many people taking advantage of this one. WAG positioning themselves outside of this compound, making sure that they don't get sandwiched between any of these teams.
Yeah, unfortunately, Fai is completely trapped out with the open, finished off by PLS1. WAG did had to tuck the tails and run away from Mammoth early on, but fully recovered. Twisted Minds finally removed from the lobby by EVOS. We're down to the top 4 team. EVOS basically only have 2 of their members left alive. BRU full control of the compound, where EVOS members are in. Secret WAG, what a shot from Moshi! Unreal stuff with the AWM. He has the Moko as well, so the pings will constantly be there. None somehow still alive and makes it into the safety of the building.
Oh my god, how many lives does Nan have right there? Because I was 100% sure that he's gonna get eliminated. Somehow they get the revives in through the wall and manage to get Nan back into that compound. So Secret WAG retain all their members. Even Bigatron, who were taking pot shots from afar, were trying to make sure that they bag at least 1 elimination, maybe 1 free point, but they get nothing. The survivability on Secret WAG was on a whole new level right now. But take a look at Bigatron right now, because the circle favors them heavily. Both Buri Ram as well as Secret WAG will have to make some really cool maneuvers while keeping themselves alive if they want to get inside this zone.
Look, Chris, the 2 teams we predicted to potentially win this map, they are still in full force. Secret WAG will be challenged first. T-Quake, a big launch pad to get out from that situation, but the rest of Secret WAG are going to be left behind. And BRU looking to overwhelm them. There's Hong Ang already taken out, Nan eliminated. Not really nothing much left for Secret WAG, unfortunately. Down to the vestige of the superstar, PLS1 and T-Quake. Can they make something happen? T-Quake certainly not. PLS1 chased out by Wasana. Moji comes in, dunks on him, and that is Secret WAG gone. But in the midst of that, it will result in BTR getting the booyah as they were completely uncontested.
BTR had absolutely nothing to worry about in that final battle. With Buri Ram and Secret WAG busy beating each other up, all Bigatron had to do was swoop in and make sure that Buri Ram do not get any time to recover from their losses, any time to heal at all.
That was to walk out into the open so that they can get an advantage with Jun. MEC out with a first blood, I believe, on the tension. Now looking for Ryu as well. Unfortunate infighting there between the Malaysians, and they will find that one. Ryu
disadvantage. But whatever these 2 teams are cooking, they better wrap it up quickly, because if they don't, then Falcons will arrive. Last time also they tried to third party in on confinement, but they did not get a single elimination. I'm sure they're gonna fix things around this time as they start off by eliminating the Axel.
Contrary to the previous round where Falcons a bit too overzealous, this time they readjust their approach. That will be Por getting his first 2. Jun spotted out, with the Bison in hand to go on the chase. The glue wall will buy a bit of time for Jun, but he knows that he's completely trapped. Even for Magna, getting taken out by Twisted Minds off screen. Plenty of early skirmishes happening left, right, and center. Azrael, last man alive. Can Falcons get him?
And it's such a shift in the vibe in confinement over here, because you had PE Sports as well as Vamos both taking very measured approaches, both just taking every single step with a second thought. Meanwhile, Falcons Esports just comes in and swoops everybody in. Oh, look at this fight as well. Twisted Minds making short work of Magna Esports Club. They lost the bus, but they instantly get him back on his feet, and they revive Exposy as well. Oh my lord, lovely connection onto Virus. Can he make it across though? That would be a very difficult fight to recover from. But it seems like PE Sports are also doing their best to recover from this battle against Falcons, because they've already got the elimination onto Pina and on fire. Limit X7, lovely shots connected onto Bidep. And that is PE Sports suffering from yet another loss. But Falcons, having vacated this entire region, have full control over the confinement vending machine so they can revive their players again.
Unlike the previous round, Falcons this time make good on the given the chance.
Yeah, they don't have that full setup yet, so Onyx Esports also taking every step in a very measured way, but EVOS, they go in for the full send against Bigatron. God desperately trying to run away because he's getting peppered from afar by Deeks, and then Koja is right there to put him in the ground. Bigatron Esports just got served those 4 eliminations on a platter.
That should give them control on the western side of Refinery. But the focus is to go on the chase to pick off the remnants of EVOS Divine. But Vice did get the full revive.
Yeah, he got the full revive, but Bigatron are now hunting him down. Wait, yeah, there you go. Kyung chasing him, latching onto his heels. FaZe desperately putting up the glue walls, hoping to save his skin, but Seabank has the flank.
Whoa!
He gets into the guard? Oh, that would have been such a cool escape.
So EVOS gets another chance. Falcons in the meantime down to just 1 PLS, 1 finding Bara off screen. Abax just dropped down but was able to acquire a vehicle. Can't say the same for Coach Yu though. Abax tried to save him, but the captain ends up going down again.
Oh, Bigatron Esports. It seems like getting into a vehicle against them is always a bad idea. Whether it's FaZe or whether it's Abax, none of them will be able to make their escape on 4 wheels. Bigatron up at 7 eliminations already, going way out of the zone to hunt down and farm up their stats. They only had like 10 eliminations in the previous game of Kalahari, but now they've got the 8th elimination for Bigatron. But right now, you've got the Bayfront battle, Falcons versus Magna Esports Club. Porpor just staring daggers at Jans, and Jans finally challenges him out in the open. Both the players forcing the issue. Jans closing in the distance. And oh my lord, the stealth bite's activated. He's trying to juke Jans, but he gets into the car. Oh, he almost tried to dash into Porpor, but Porpor has quick feet, dodges that vehicle assault, and wins his duel. Now, can Virus win his duel against Limit X7? Yes, he does, but instantly gets traded out. So Falcons back at full strength.
If you try to buy distance, there's a very good chance that someone with sharp eyes will be able to spot you, and that it will be the fate for Alif right now as Pina closes in.
Yeah, they even got the hit list on him, so he cannot hide. He can try to run, but it's probably not gonna get him much farther away. He has no choice but to fight and stand his ground. And that's also very difficult when On Fire is dashing you in the face. Limit X7 providing Overwatch as well. And Falcons are just wiping the floor with any opponent that comes across them.
Yeah. In good times coming true, Jans not having that good time, but that with 2 in a row. The Esports making quick work of their adversaries, but that new kid on the block with 5 in his name. And Virus not only taking the blue, but also trying to avoid the watchful eyes of Team Vamos. And it's another round where the Malaysian teams are just not showing much.
Yeah, Vamos Esports are the only one. They haven't really done much, but Virus, the last survivor, might just get picked off by his own Malaysian brothers. And Zeus puts the final nail in the coffin. There goes Magna Esports Club, down with only 3 eliminations.
Free themselves away from the incoming PE and Falcons.
Yeah, they already used the Denucleus, so I think Vamos should be pretty safe. They can get inside the zone without much trouble, and they will even have a compound to themselves. But EVOS and Bigatron are clashing hard against each other. You got Seabank already pushing down Apex into the ground. Confirmation not here yet, but Teeks almost tried to climb up that container. Then he discovers that you got Keel right around him, so Kyung will be able to help him out with that as well. And there you go, Aim God also out. Bigatron making quick work of EVOS Divine.
EVOS, another early exit with nothing to show for. Less than half of what they achieved yesterday. That is going to be quite the heartbreaker. And they do reviews for game 1, but for BTR, splendid stuff with 12. Make that 13. Mikaja shot down from mid-air as they were able to get into the lightning zone, but also have a couple of tents to work with here. BRU right in the middle. And Seabank, he's still outside, but Kenshin finally gets the punish.
Oh my lord!
Wait, he's back
Esports
up!
Putrajaya are making that risky rotation, but they're getting peppered mid-air. Seabank hunting them down from the skies, and the rest of them succumb to the zone. Esports Putrajaya are out, and Seabank just continues to farm those eliminations until he gets destroyed himself. But that's not a problem. Bigatron should be in a safe spot from the rest of the threats. but they can't bring their teammate back. The only vending machine, if they want to access it, they will have to go through Twisted Minds. And then you've also got like Buri Ram holding on to the revival points. So yeah, there's not much of a chance to bring your fallen teammates back for Bigatron.
Yeah, and I think Sebang knew that he was going to go down regardless. So that's why he did his absolute best and stall as much time as possible. That gave him enough opportunity. Deeks did get the drop on the two of the members of Twisted Minds though. Good for one, and Rifaela actually steals one of it away, and that's Diamond eliminated. Twisted Minds caught between a rock and a hard place, containers, and sandwiched by two different teams. PE Sports opted to go low ground to cut line of sight, and that will put Vamos in the dark as the Basset Exposé will be pushed by BTR. But as the glue walls go down, Wasana and Jetna chime in, they will be the one that steals these points away.
I mean, Bigatron didn't even consider that Buri Ram could be a threat. They were so busy focusing on MBR and Twisted Minds, they forgot that Vasana can wipe them out. But before Bigatron wipe the dust, it is going to be Twisted Mind that get confirmed eliminated. MBR picking up all those points for themselves. And this actually gives them quite a lot of space to work with. Meanwhile, back inside this house, you got PE Esports versus Onyx Esports. PE Esports escaped the battle against Vamos, only to land straight into the crosshairs of Onyx. And Putra is doing God's work over here by getting that elimination onto Bidep. He also wants to get inside the house and get the knock onto Sichuan, but the blue walls are blocking his way. Jump shot from the Axel. No, wait, Axel never made that jump shot. He shot him through the window. So that is the elimination stolen away, and it's all up to LBT. He's hoping that he will be able to survive this onslaught, but there's just way too many players. LBT with a double elimination. He tries his best, but PE Esports go down anyway, and so do Bigatron.
I believe it's a secret WAG with the grenade launcher that took them out, but in the meantime, they also have to deal with BRU. PLS1 against Moshi. They did recover some of their teammates, so the sniper of BRU left all alone. Can he pull off the clutches like he always do? A 1v3 with an AWM in hand. He makes it out into the open first, but Moshi able to find a disengage as the rest of Secret WAG tries to chase him down. Finds a tag on the PLS1, but the finisher was there from the Axo. Team Vamos playing absolute spoilers from long range.
Yeah, they spoiled the game for Buri Ram. Now they're spoiling the game for Secret WAG. It's just PLS1 left, and he's very vulnerable over there. Either the zone or Vamos Esports should be able to take him down in the next few seconds. So he's just counting down and hoping that he can have some impact before the Axel finally eliminates him. But it doesn't accomplish much. Vamos Esports not only have a lot of eliminations, but they also have a pretty good high ground advantage over here against the Falcons as well as Onyx. Onyx are sharing the same compound with them, but they can't harm a hair on Vamos' head.
Yeah, then it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation there.
Yeah.
And Team Vamos at the 11th hour in the final round now has the best chance of winning this final map and close it out with a booyah. They are the torchbearer of the region. They are the one that showed us that we can still hack it on the global stage. And today, after 5 rounds of waiting, maybe this is the moment for Team Vamos. If they keep their composure, they have the roof of the Onyx compound, they have possession of the circle. Even after it moves, it will still be Team Vamos in the strong spot.
Yeah, and they've got a nice, decent spread over here, so they can get multiple angles onto Falcons. Falcons also feeling very claustrophobic inside that compound. They only have a few inches to work with, and very soon they will be forced to get outside. Look at Vamos Esports placing the glue walls to block out one side of the entrance, funneling Falcons onto the left-hand side. And as soon as they step out, everybody is ready to shoot them down. It's like shooting at fish in a battle. Por gets destroyed the moment he takes a step outside that house. Limit X7 and On Fire might just meet the same fate right now, with both Onyx as well as Vamos Esports shooting them down. The Riptide Rhythm also leaves them nothing to work with, and Poom managed to steal one elimination away from Vamos, but he gets punished for it instantly. Down to a 3v2. Onyx Esports desperate to make a change over here, but Crime and Gede will have to fight against overwhelming odds to get inside the zone over here. June gets back into the zone, hoping to find the backstab, and there is Vamos winning their booyah, putting Malaysia on the map.
Finally, in the final moments of week number 1, Team Vamos gives us something to celebrate.